All right, cool. So here we go.
Okay, so who we are. My name is Jerry Sword. I'm the writer and director for the brand new documentary film called Season of the Witch. And you are?
My name is Tarell. I am the cinematographer and editor for Season of the Witch.
So we've just had our theater run here in Virginia with Legacy Theater.
Yep.
10 days there. I think we had a pretty decent turnout as far as I know. And I have questions for you.
Okay.
And I guess the biggest question I have for you is, do you hate me yet for dragging you into this?
I'd probably say it's the exact opposite. I'm glad you drug me into it because, I really think it's helped everybody in a positive way. So I could never see myself in this situation without you putting me in it. I would never find a group of witches to make a documentary about, as cool as that sounds. I just don't think that's something I could do on my own.
No, so Tarell and I have a history. We've known each other for, 12 years that I know of.
Yeah, I'd say at least maybe more like 14 now, honestly.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
It does, man.
And so we started talking about doing a project together in, 20...
I think that was 2018?
Around 2018.
Yeah, it might have been 2019. I think I bought my first camera in 2018. So.
Yeah, it's been really interesting because I have watched your development from first picking up a camera to the ability that you have now.
Yeah,
like, I've been there through the whole thing.
Yeah, I think looking back, it seems like it's been long, but when I look at the years, I'm like, this has actually been like super quick to really, buy a camera. My first camera in 2018. Now in 2022, we have our documentary streaming on Amazon. Like, I'll say it's pretty fast.
You are in film school at Los Angeles Film School.
Yep.
And you're probably the only guy in your class who just had your documentary in a movie theater and now streaming on Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I guess it'd be safe to say I'm probably going backwards. Normally you finish school, get your skills, then you do something like this, but I'm kind of going backwards.
Yeah, it almost makes me think that your professor should just go ahead and fast forward you to the end of.
I wish, dude, because every time I turn around, it's time for some homework, and it's usually something I already know how to do, but I'm still learning this and that along the way. So,
well, I tell you, from my standpoint, the last year and a half or so since cameras first rolled on Season of the Witch, this has just been an incredible experience to watch it all come together and
absolutely
to work with you and to I've heard that you and I are a pretty remarkable team from other people, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I already thought so, but when you hear it from other people,
hear it from other people, they see the same thing that you already feel.
Yeah, it kind of cements things, and to be able to watch you take everything that I've put on paper and put it in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there have been moments where it's just raised the hair on my arms to watch it all come together.
Yeah, it's crazy what just one foot in front of the other, step by step, what it actually can lead to.
Sure, and there's so many people out there, and first of all, people should realize that we are the furthest thing from Hollywood filmmakers that you can get. We're closer to Dollywood.
We're on the exact opposite end of Hollywood.
We for the people that don't know anything about us, we live on the border of Virginia and Tennessee.
Yeah, and it's not like we're in the northern developed city part of Virginia. We're in the
we're in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains.
Yeah, the farthest part from development in Virginia.
We're down in the coal fields.
Yeah.
People in this area, which this area is developing a lot recently. But growing up, I mean, people made their livings around here by working in the coal mines and working in these industries that were just really hard on your body.
Yeah.
And physically demanding. And
that's another thing to mention. We're on the Tennessee state line, almost the West Virginia state line, and we're also close to Kentucky. So
yeah. So
we're in coal mine.
We're right
coal
here
mine territory
in a region of the country that a lot of people think of. This region has gotten left behind.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about Hollywood that I think can be so disgraceful is the way that the people in this area are represented.
Yeah.
As they're uneducated and they can't talk, and it's
I actually did a little FaceTime survey type of thing on that, where they basically took like 5 or 6 people from our area and asked us how we felt about how we were represented and stuff, and everybody said like the way, people talk about us is extremely exaggerated and stuff. It was really an interesting conversation. It was basically a company doing like a questionnaire on people from our area. It was really interesting. It was about an hour FaceTime call, and pretty much everybody, says exactly what we're saying. It's exaggerated. They feel like we're left off of a lot of stuff.
Oh, sure. Well, and I know from living here my whole life, and you and I grew up in the same town.
Yeah.
Same
Lebanon,
small
Virginia.
town.
Shout out to Lebanon.
Definitely shout out to Lebanon, Virginia.
Yeah.
But people from the outside looking in, their opinions are very skewed. So
oh, definitely.
So anyway, like we're definitely not Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're 2 working class blue collar guys who wanted to make a movie.
Yep. But you could say we have Hollywood talent. We'll give ourselves that much, right?
I think we can give ourselves that much. Sure.
Yeah, we'll give ourselves that much.
And I think growing up here, I think the ingredients for something like Season of the Witch. I think this was being created a long time before 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was a kid growing up in the mountains, and when I say growing up in the mountains, I don't know that your average person is really going to understand what I'm talking about.
You mean mountains for real?
I mean, my family, when I was out of school for summer vacation, I may have saw town limits once a month.
Yeah.
And I would always get like really sad and disappointed when summer break was coming. Most kids, that's the complete opposite. But
you'd be in the mountains.
I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I was going to be at home.
Yeah. So you grew up in the outskirts of Lebanon.
Yeah, I grew up. I mean, I grew up around 12. Probably around 12, 15 miles from town limits.
Right.
And out in the country, when my family first moved to Virginia, there was no indoor plumbing in the house I grew up in.
Yeah.
So, when I tell you I walked uphill both ways in the snow to go to school, I mean it.
So you hear people tell those stories, it's like, are they exaggerating? But no, you really went through that.
Yeah, no, I didn't walk uphill both ways to go to school. But, the thing is, I wouldn't take anything for the way that I grew up.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I remember so well about the early parts of my life is being that there wasn't much to do around there. We were lucky to get 3 TV channels.
Yeah.
But I remember a lot of times in the summers, my family congregating out on the front porch at night when everything was done for the day.
Mm-hmm.
And I would hear all these stories that would come from my parents and whoever else, whatever family members happened to be around. And so I was a kid. I was sitting back and taking notes, and I would listen to this stuff that they would talk about. And
so you could kind of say your your story writing journey kind of began at that point.
Yeah, because I would hear stories of plane crashes and stories of things that couldn't be explained and ghost stories,
He's probably intrigued by
and
it.
I was very intrigued, and I was terrified and intrigued at the same time.
At the same time, yeah.
And I think that is where all of this started for me. I like to think that I am a storyteller.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it's all started. And I think that's what ignited my passion for doing what we're doing.
Right.
And what I had hoped to do and what I think we've done with Season of the Witch is I kind of wanted to bring people out onto my front porch and tell them a story. I want people to walk away from this with that same kind of feeling.
Hey, from the reviews, man, it seems like you're succeeding.
I can't complain. We can always use more.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think this early in, the amount of reviews and feedback that we've got is really good. I think for this point, we're doing a really good job.
I'm seeing people from all over the world commenting on our TikTok page, which is Season of the Witch 2022.
Yeah.
And people have asked for it all over Europe, Poland, Portugal. There's very few parts of the world that I haven't
same with
seen something from.
The United States. I've seen people from every part of the United States, California, Las Vegas. So it seems like it's really out there, everywhere that it could be at this point.
Yeah, I'm very pleased with it. The question that I'm getting a lot of lately is, people love it, and I'm getting a lot of, well, what's next? Or it ended too soon. I'm hearing that a lot. I love the film, but it was over too soon.
Well, I think that's just saying that they liked it so much, so they wanted more of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I've never seen anybody say it ended too soon. That didn't really like, what they were seeing. If you're not into it, you're gonna want it to end and not keep going. So I think that's a good sign.
Yeah, I think we left people wanting more.
Yeah,
and there's a fine line between leaving people wanting more and leaving people with too much and just dragging it on.
Yeah.
And I would much rather people want to see more and want to know what's next than to walk out of there saying, oh, wow, I enjoyed the film, but man, I didn't think that thing was ever going to end.
Exactly. So, I don't think I've seen that one time. I've actually seen that comment, I wanted more, when's the next one, multiple times. So, it's not like we just seen one comment saying that. I've seen that multiple times.
Yeah, I don't know. And, of course, we're starting to get questions about what's next and this and that. And, we don't know. We're kind of taking this as it comes. And
a good way to answer that would be we really got to gauge, and get feedback from this one to see what direction we would want to go next.
Yeah, and I think for the people who do want to see more of this kind of thing, more of Season of the Witch, the way to ensure that is to support this film, obviously.
Exactly. Shares, comments, likes.
Exactly.
They go a lot farther than you think it does.
Yeah, you don't have to pay the $3 on Amazon to support the film. You can tell somebody about it. You can talk about it. You can share things. You can follow us.
Lots of free ways to support the film.
And the more of that we see, then obviously the more inclined we will be.
Exactly. The more motivated,
to follow up with something else. And
exactly.
Witchcraft in itself. I mean, I'm by no means an expert on the subject. Mm-hmm. I don't claim to be. I was fascinated by it enough to research it and put this film together.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did you take away from all this?
Oh man, I think that's a broad question when it comes to all this. How about you, narrow me down a path?
What um, what was the most shocking thing about this? And I know how you're going to answer this,
Oh man,
but we might as well get it out there.
Probably have to say the seance. That's probably, if I had to think, that's probably the most shocking moment. But I also think it's probably one of the most powerful moments in the film. Like, there's a lot of emotion in that scene. So
I think so too, and you know, for people who haven't saw the film yet, we filmed a live seance,
hmm
and
we need to give a spoiler alert.
well,
That's something I
it's
didn't think about before we started this. But
yeah, maybe yeah. Spoiler
yeah,
alert.
we'll say
There's
spoiler
a
alert.
seance in the film. We're not going to tell you what happens,
But you could probably guess that much. Seeing a documentary on witchcraft. So
but
we're good at this point.
I think more of the point that I'm getting at is I don't think either one of us really knew what to expect when we walked in
Exactly.
here.
We overall knew what a seance was, but we didn't know what to actually expect when it actually happened.
Yeah, and
We
people,
didn't.
I've had a few people ask, well, what was that like? What was going through your mind? What were you doing when you guys were filming this?
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is that we were so zeroed in on capturing it
Yep.
that I don't think we really were able to put any of it into perspective until
Afterwards.
much later.
Exactly.
And then there was a debate back and forth for a little while about whether we were even going to use that footage.
I'm so glad we did.
Yeah, well, and looking back, I am too, because I was the one who was inclined not to use it.
Right.
At first, I didn't want to use it because I felt like that scene left us open, and
Yeah.
you're going to have critics no matter
Exactly.
what you do. Okay.
Exactly.
And that's just the reality of this. But looking back, I can't imagine that scene not being in there.
Yeah, I think now looking back, it's definitely an important scene. It really, I guess, further sets the tone of the whole film. Makes it darker, makes it more interesting.
And Pat's great.
Yeah,
Pat,
no doubt.
all the ladies in the film are great. So
No doubt.
we need to give a shout out to Pat and Rhonda and Misty and Ashley.
Yeah, shout out to everybody.
And
They've been great the whole time. Listen to everything we had to say. Always showed up when we planned something. So
yeah, and they did so pretty much blindly.
yeah,
They didn't they trusted us to tell their story.
yeah. I don't think they probably realized fully what they was walking into in the beginning. So for them to have faith in us without even seeing what we was capable of yet, you really got to give them credit for that.
For sure, and it's sad, but there are a lot of people who would take this subject matter and try to what's the word I'm looking for here? Try and embellish it for TV.
Yeah,
what I mean?
overly exaggerate everything.
Exaggerate things, and
yeah,
we didn't want to do that. And the thing going in, like I told these guys, and we told these guys, I wanted this to be a love story to people who practice this belief. And whether that is your thing, whether that's your particular belief or not, we have did our best to keep this straight down the middle.
Yep.
And not have an opinion one way or the other, or try to steer someone into what they should actually believe.
Always kept it neutral.
But to open up the cover and tear the Band-Aid off, so to speak, and show that these are people who
Yeah,
These are
absolutely.
people
It could be anybody.
yeah, I mean,
You
they're
know?
your neighbors, they're your coworkers, they're your kid's second grade
Yeah,
teacher, you know.
and it's not like because you're a witch, you're gonna be walking around in witch attire 24/7, and it's right there on your forehead. You know what I mean? Like you could be a witch and at the same time be a regular person and
Yeah,
just kind of blend in.
and I guess one of the common misconceptions is you can also be a good person.
Yeah,
You know, like
absolutely.
these ladies are great. You know, I
That's
can't
another
speak
thing.
highly enough.
That's another thing I think they covered well in the film is is the fact witch don't mean devil worshiper. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's a lot deeper than that. But I think the average person hears witch for some reason they automatically hear devil worshiper.
Sure, sure
Which
they do.
is kind of weird. But I guess that's why we're making films like this. So
Absolutely, and so what I hope that we've done here, and gauging by the feedback that I've saw so far, I think we've done a pretty good job of it.
yeah, definitely.
Is to put this out there and kind of say, hey, this is as much of a belief as being a Buddhist,
hmm
for example. I
Yeah.
mean, so and there is a lot of it out there.
Oh yeah.
There's a tremendous movement in the witchcraft community.
Oh, no doubt. I think we both seen that, through TikTok.
Sure, yeah. I mean,
For a video to have over 100,000 views, that's a good amount of people out there.
yeah, I think we're like 115,000 last I
You
saw
know, and
on
it's
that.
it's not just that one. We have several, 20,000, 30,000.
Sure.
I got probably like 1,000, followers in 1 week just posting stuff we'd already posted. So, there's definitely an audience out there.
We only need another million views on that one video.
Hey man, it's possible.
So,
That's why we need everybody to
I
like and
can't-
share.
absolutely. I can't emphasize enough that, we're asking you to watch our film. We're asking you for your support.
We're begging you.
And beg's a strong word, but we're definitely happy to have your support in any context we can get it.
We highly appreciate it.
Okay, so are we going to do a YouTube channel?
I think we are. This is probably, well, everybody might actually be watching the first YouTube video as we speak. So
Hey, that's fantastic.
I guess we just need to think
so
of what
we
it
should-
is.
So we should be asking people to hit that button and like and subscribe.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I mean, like, the bottom line is we would like your support any way we can get it.
Yeah.
Like, click, view,
Comment,
subscribe,
share,
comment,
tell
share.
your friend in person.
And you don't have to share our views on this.
hmm
We just ask that you be open to the fact that the people involved in this have their own beliefs and their own lives and their right to do so.
Right.
We don't want ugly comments.
Yeah. No, yeah, either way, keep it respectful. But, yeah, we also take feedback. And that also help us, when we're sitting there thinking which direction to go next, feedback. We appreciate it too.
Tarell, it's a pleasure as always to be here with you today.
For sure, man. My pleasure.
I personally can't wait to see what we do next.
Yeah, same here, man. Everybody thinks we know, but hey, we're waiting too.
Yeah, we're flying by the seat of our pants here, but I think we're doing a pretty good job with it so far.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I guess at this time we'll ask everybody to like, comment, subscribe.
And we'll see you next time. Maybe we'll even bring some guests in.
Yeah, as you see, we got a seat here, so you never know who's gonna pop up in that seat. Yep.
All right. Well, awesome, man. Thanks for everybody who watched or tuned in, and we'll catch you next time.
For sure.